Sicilian defense, and also white chose to close the center with this like structure. This is pretty well. And black divided bishop to g4. So the best move or the most common move for black is g6 and divide the bishop to g7 and later castle. Since the ultimate direction for black to launch attack is on the queen side. It's very hard for black to attack on the king side because of this solid structure. So moving the bishop to g4 or to the king side is not as much helpful than like placing it at queen side. For example, bishop d7, rook ba, and a b5. So bishop to g4, d3, knight to d4. This is quite interesting. Black move the knight to the center, offer exchange, but bishop f3, that's good. That's quite interesting. So I think white can keep develop pieces, and so yeah, forcing black to take the knight for sure. If black moved bishop to f3, we can castle, and still we are offering exchange, chasing or kicking the center knight. So the difference between bishop e3 and h3 is with bishop e3 we can divide the dark square bishop. Bishop f3, castle, exchange, take. So I think black is a little bit rushy to exchange the knight. We can do that later. So I will move the pawn, bishop to e7, and then castle, or g6, bishop g7, castle. I think either move is good. So we don't have to take the knight because it's only make your opponent happy because the pin is not there anymore. Exchange e5 and f4. White has already castle, so start to break the like the pawn structure. Then white can open up the file. So f5, keep pushing the pawn. I'm thinking, is that too early to push the pawn, or is there any other thing we can do at the center? If we take the pawn, take it, and rook f5, can we attack this e5 pawn? I'm thinking maybe queen to d3, but the bishop e3. Okay, so yeah, black can take this b2. Yeah. So okay, so I think it's fine to push the pawn, advance the pawn, and later we can push another one to expand or control the king side and then attack the black king. So d5, I think black should make the king safe first before open up the center, because otherwise once the center is open, and also look at the e5 pawn, it becomes hanging, white can win the pawn, but white doesn't take the pawn. White move queen to e4 and knight f6, then take the pawn. Okay, so white still win the pawn. But if white take the pawn immediately, white can also attack the knight at the same time. So rook ba, rook e1. Yeah, now black is passive, not because it has one fewer pawn. It's also because the king has to stay at the center to protect the bishop. But the bishop is also pinned, and bishop f4, and yeah, when not losing another pawn. Bishop c7, I think white has figured out some tactical moves to win material. That's quite good. And white has won some pawns, offer exchange. Now white is definitely winning. It's really hard for black to balance the position. Bishop c5, winning another bishop. Yeah. Yeah, the rook cut off the file, so the pawn can like promote without any doubt. So yeah, I think the game works fine until, yeah, black pushed the d5 pawn. If black didn't put a d5 on, it's still like okay to play. You can castle, or maybe you can castle to the queen side. The thing is, first of all, we haven't castled, so it's not wise to open up the center if we don't make the king safe first. Another thing is, white has pair bishop. We have a bishop plus a knight. So what do bishops like? Bishop really like open files. So in this position as black, we should keep the position as close as possible because our opponent, open game favors our opponent. So if we don't have a very good reason, we shouldn't like open diagonals or files. So that's it.